guys, so yeah, this is me recording from my Jeep. Pardon the mess. I got some recyclables that I have to take out, and I have to like pay some car taxes before I can do it, so they're gonna be there for a little bit. So just bear with me here. This review is going to be for the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, parts 1 and 2, volumes 1 and 2, if you will. Essentially, I liked them both. I think that, you know, it had sort of a, I've made reference to this in another video, that it has sort of a Fifth Element-y vibe, not like in total likeness, but in the sort of like quirkiness in the like, you know, soundtrack and the slightly like over the top in parts characters that all comes together. It's like a lot of extremes that come together in exactly the right way that make it really something kind of unique and special. And I mean, of all the Marvel movies, I think that, you know, because I mean, we've already seen Spider-Man and shit like that, and, you know, X-Men, I mean, they're not in the Avengers movies, but they've been around for a while. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy is like one of the like definitive of this time superheroes, League of Superheroes. And the first one's, yeah, just like really cool. The soundtrack really enhanced it. And the second one, I really enjoyed the second one. Now, in terms of actual like quality of movie, I would say that maybe the first one is like a sneeze better than the second one. However, personally, and for personal reasons, I like the second one better. The reason being is essentially the entire plot. Like last review, I talked about Avengers Infinity War and how Star-Lord did admittedly kind of fuck everything up for everybody, but I don't like hate him as much as a lot of people do for it. And really, the reason for that shines through the most in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The thing that I like about Star-Lord is, I mean, he's kind of a goofy bastard, a little bit of a fuck up sometimes, but he's got some crazy ideas that actually sort of work, you know, and he's sort of like got his little ragtag group of people that like a lot of other people probably wouldn't be able to tolerate. You know, it's like they're all sort of a family, and they'd all probably individually piss other people off. And the thing with the second one is that he really shows like his emotion. He was the first character that really, like, in my opinion, in the Marvel universe, like really showed like a definitive weakness in that, you know, he had sort of daddy issues, you know, and I mean, Kurt Russell plays his father, who, of course, who doesn't love Kurt Russell? Fucking Jack Burton over here. And of course, Kurt Russell did a fucking fantastic job, but it's like he sort of meets his father for the first time, and a lot of shit happens, a lot of shit unfolds. And there's a lot of anger. There's also a lot of pain. And he comes across as kind of like angsty almost. And like maybe even, I mean, some people might even say like whiny, but like I personally relate to that because my relationship with my father is not, you know, I don't really talk to my dad. He doesn't really talk to me. Like we just don't see eye to eye. And I found just a lot of similarities, like, you know, because there have been times where I've, like, talked to my wife or whatever, you know, and I felt like kind of a whiny bitch, and I'm like, am I complaining too much? Like, what, you know? But, like, watching this movie, I really understood where he was coming from, and it meant a lot to me, and that's why, like, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 holds, like, a special place in my heart. But the biggest thing, I mean, this was, like, the cherry on top. The entire movie was just very reminiscent, you know, of my relationship with my dad. And you know what? It's not just me. I mean, I know a lot of people who've, you know, even if they still talk to their dad, they at least had that one moment where they fucking had that argument or had that verbal or physical exchange with one another where it's just like, fuck you, you know, and they didn't talk for a while. And it was the first time that anybody in the Marvel Universe had really taken like that specific route to have like a personal problem and to have like a hero talk about his feelings a little bit. Which normally I make fun of, but, you know, it's okay. I make fun of myself too, so. But the cherry on top, and the thing that really just capped that movie off for me was at the end, when he's got the little Zune thing, and the first song that starts to play is Father Son by Cat Stevens, which, when I was growing up, the first two musicians, or bands, musicians, whatever, that I, like, really knew were Genesis and Cat Stevens, because that's what my dad listened to. And my dad had talked about that song for the longest time, and he's like, you know, this really is a great song about, you know, the generation gap, like about the difference between a father and a son. And the thing that's beautiful about the song is it doesn't really side with either the father or the son. Both of their perspectives are very well expressed, but at no point in the song does it seem to like tell you like the father's right or the son's right. It's just about their difference of opinion, about two people in different different parts of their lives having a disagreement and parting ways. And it really is a very beautiful song. And it took me like, several years, and honestly like a pretty hefty argument with my dad. We haven't talked in like 3 years, to like really fully realize like what an amazingly good song it is. And the fact that that played at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I was like, oh, that is masterful. That is masterful. So again, I could totally understand people liking the first one better. I would say, again, maybe even from a filmmaking standpoint, maybe the first one is a sneeze better, just a sneeze. But my personal favorite will always be Volume 2 for that very reason. And I think I relate probably the most to Star-Lord more than any other Avenger or superhero character in the MCU. But yeah, it's just I thought about that and I was like, that would make an interesting video. So there it is.